welcome to the Abyss Garden. So it's a bit of a special video. It's been a while since we put one out. But basically we are gonna do a few announcements, a few informations about Mindworlds. And some of them are already out. And for the rest, I guess we are just gonna discover them. So as you might realize, it's an unscripted video. I'm not used to them, but I'm gonna try my best. Alright, so we have a few things to go through. First of all, we received this dual box a few weeks back. So it's part of the new products that we made for the second set of Mindworlds. It's in its pre-release version. You can already get some of these products if you wish. So pre-release means that some of the words might change, some of the tiny elements inside of the box might change, some stuff that we forgot, some tiny mistakes that we made. That's why it's only in pre-release. The official release will be on May the 1st. But so in the meantime, these are already available. All the links are going to be down below. But before we go through it, I thought it might be nice to go through two other tiny announcements. So let's jump to the computer. Let's see if it focuses. Seems to focus kind of fine. So the first one is that we now have a Discord server, as you can see here. The link will be down below. You can join it as you wish. And basically there's mostly information about the game. There's a tiny fun thing with daily cards, where every day I'm uploading a new card of the game. It's kind of inspired by the website Scryfall that does that for Magic the Gathering, and we really enjoyed it, where basically they have this feature that allows you to check random cards from among 2,000 to 20,000 plus cards of Magic. And we found that it's a really nice way to get to discover new effects and new cards, and to kind of give you a new way to look at the game. So you have this thing that's a bit interesting. And also the Discord is a place where we can discuss the future sets. So for the moment, the first set was based on Pluchik's Will, the second on the Four Sides model. And so every set is based on the psychological theory. And here we have a place in which we are able to discuss which set would be better suited for, which theory would be better suited for a future set. We also have some talks about the mechanics. We made a few how to play guides. So we have the some kind of quick guide to get you started. And we also have a complete guide in case you're really interested about all the finicky rules of the game, all the edge cases and how exactly to play. Some matchmaking, but which is, if you only know the game from what we put out so far, it might be a bit sus, because we only created physical cards. But that leads us nicely to the second announcement of this video. I'm really sorry for the quality of the video, by the way. I just have a little time. We are basically Sunday afternoon, and I have like 20 minutes to make this. So I'm sorry in advance. So the second announcement is this. So we got in contact with someone from an LGS, a local game store. And among the people around this person was someone that got interested in the game and started to create a mod where you can basically play the game on Tabletop Simulator. So Tabletop Simulator is a Steam game in which basically it costs around $20, and you can, there's probably some sales now and then. And inside you can play a lot of different games, a lot of different board games and TCGs. And so she created this, we refined it a bit, And now it's available. You just have to subscribe on this tiny page for the mod, and you will have access to it. Up. So that's the main two announcements. And now if we go back to what happened with the second set of Mile Worlds, basically for all the packaging and the cards we have an updated design. What we went for is something more simple, a bit less of a noisy art or a noisy design, and something that feels a bit more handmade. So we have these doodles here and there, we have the informations that all the cards inside are part of these two early sets, Blue Chick's Wheel and the Four Sides model. And so we also updated the rules and how we present them. So here we have the equivalent of the quick rules, giving you the information on how to win, the turn step, the speed of the cards and the train of thoughts, and also how to duel. So it's something that we brainstormed quite a lot, is that we wanted a special way to be able to play the game once you receive these boxes. And we tried a few things, and we are really fan of the draft format in different card games. And basically, since anyway the decks inside are randomized decks, we thought that the best way to play these boxes would be for you to you each pick a deck, and then after each game you draft 6 more cards from the big booster that's inside. And so you slowly refine the deck as you play games, and we find that it's a really interesting format, really like it a lot so far. We are probably gonna upload a few gameplay video with the new cards in the following days, weeks. We'll see when we have time. And so basically inside this box, let's just take a look. Yeah, the colors might be a bit off on the camera, and the focusing is totally absent. So we have these dice, and we have the 2 randomized decks. Hop. Alright, so the video quality might be a bit less shaky now. So if we take a look at these decks, basically the inside is based on the same algorithm as for the first set, but we changed a lot of the design. So the outside, the packaging, following the same idea, we went for something that's a bit more cleaner. We also, as you might have seen when we went to look at the Discord, we also made a new icon, a new logo for the game. And yeah, the idea is to keep stuff clean and a bit more simple. So behind it you have all the information of what's inside the deck. We did take a tiny look at it when we first received the box, the dual box. But we didn't go thoroughly through all the cards. I'm not going to do it now anyway. But we can have a tiny look at what this deck contains. So inside, as always, you have the rules, but now in more of a kind of simpler way. We added some doodles, we added some, we cut down unnecessary information. And so with this, it's basically the quick guide. With this, you should be able to play without any issue. And for really unusual edge cases, you can find a complete guide on our website. So let's see, because we just took a really fast look. So we have a few steel cards from the Terror deck. So each of these decks is a 3-color deck, and they are based, basically their main color is the one that cares about tribe. So for this deck it's Terror, so the dark green, and for the other one it's Rage, the red color. So let's see, we have a few steel things. This one is really interesting. So this one kind of stops your opponent from being able to get time counters, which is the counters that you use to play cards, but instead they draw 2 times. They draw 2 cards at each of their draw steps. So what this does is that whenever they have to play cards now, they can only discard cards that they have in their hand. And that's really good with this color, because they have cards that allow you to steal from the opponent's forgotten thoughts, from the ones they discarded. And so we'll see, but now what we'd be looking for are cards that do that, that take from the opponent's forgotten thoughts. This might be the plan for this deck. So here we have some stuff that are good for both players. We have this one was really good when we tested it the last time. It really allows you to get the cards that you need. Oh yeah. So here we have a first one that does that. That takes thoughts that an opponent forgot. Do we have an... Yeah, we do have another one. So that's really good. These ones make the opponent's card slow. A generic good effect. I believe in your choices. Allows you to copy the effect of a chill thought in mind. Another really good one that works well with... No, not this one. Take your time. This one allows you to discard any number of cards, and then you take that many from the ones that the opponent forgot. So it's really good. We also have this one, so these 2 are from the new set. So this one puts the opponent puts their hand down and all the cards inside become slow. So I'm starting to see a pattern of how we want to play this deck. We have a few things that hide, more draw, make opponent's cards slow. This one might be quite interesting. So the effect of this one, as long as it's in the mind, whenever the opponent draws from an effect, you draw 1 card from their deck. And if I'm not mistaken, if we also have this, so this makes the opponent have 2 draw steps, and since it's an effect, it would mean that every time it has its second draw step, we would also draw a card. So actually these 2 cards together are a bit insane, or let's say really good. Reorder all thoughts in the train, generic good card, some hide, and some more slow and messing up with the train of thoughts. Okay. So I think that indeed the plan here, because we have a lot of stuff that hide and that slow down the opponent. So the idea is to make sure that the opponent has a hard time getting into its intense thoughts, and for us to kind of force it to discard some of its thoughts, and for us to take the best of them. I quite like it. I'm gonna see if I'll be the one to play this deck or not, but it's the colors that I'm quite into. So something else with the design, if you remember or if you've seen the cards from as they were in the past, basically this circle was white and the doodle was simply the black and white. And so a big design change I'm not sure how big this is, but a design change that we find is makes the card way better and pop, is that now we have the color in the background and we added this white color, this white inside all of the borders. And so I feel like it really makes the card pop and allows it to be recognizable and seen from far away. It doesn't apply that well for some of them that don't have a lot of these closed lines, but for most of them, like 99% of them, it really makes the card pop. I'm sorry for the focus that goes in and out. Alright. Now let's take a look at the other deck, Irritative Acuity. So this one is the other colors, so they are basically the opposite colors on the wheel. I'm gonna show you with the back of a card. Up. So if you look at a wheel, so the first deck is Admiration, Terror, Amazement, and the second is the opposite, which is Loathing, Rage and Vigilance. So, well, we start with one of the best Rage cards, which allows you basically to erase a color from the mind. Players can't draw from effects. That could be an interesting thing. Then we have one of the new anger cards, which allows you to return 2 thoughts in mind to their owner's hand. So either one of your opponent, one of yours, 2 of your opponent, or 2 of yours. So it's quite of a choice thingy. And yeah, it's quite versatile. We have some blinding things, some reordering, a new effect which is cancel opponent time counter to slow them down. And we do have, since we have red, I'm gonna see how many we have here, but we do have ways to return stuff that we forgot. So as the other deck could take stuff from our forgotten pile, from the opponent's forgotten pile, here we can take some thoughts that we forgot ourselves. So actually it might be an interesting dynamic to see, terror against rage, because they both want to get into the forgotten thoughts of rage. So it might be quite of a fun duel. We also have a new one of the new keywords for the second set, which is replace, which is quite a powerful effect. Yeah, we have some draw, discard, some give. Oh, this is a really strong effect. I'm not sure if we have. We already had it in the first set. It basically turns the gain of an opponent into a lose. So if the opponent, would gain 12 influence, instead it would lose 12 influence. So let me see, because we had, yeah, that's discard. So we had this with discard, which is a strong thought, and it was really powerful. So during playtesting, we ended up make it so it can't gain itself. Usually, strong thoughts also gain some influence. This one doesn't, because the effect is really strong, and because of its speed, it basically makes it so your opponent can't really answer it. And so, since it's a mechanic, it's an effect that's quite iconic for red, for rage, we thought that it might be interesting to put it on more cards. And so we tried to put it here on a chill card, on a chill thought. And it's a bit dangerous, but the thing is that this thought is only normal speed. So when you play it, basically your opponent will know that their next thought will lose instead of gain. And so they will act accordingly. So it's way less powerful than the other one, but it's still quite of a strong effect. We have this one to forget in a train of thoughts. We have the cancel opponent draw. Previously we had the cancel time counter. So that's interesting, we are going to see how it plays. We have some cards that care about the number of turns left and that remove some of them. So this one might be going for a really fast-paced game. I mean, I quite like this one too. We have a lot of reordering. We don't have that many orange thoughts. We only have a few, which is normal. It's quite randomized. You have a certain number of red cards in the deck. And for the 2 other colors, here it's orange and purple, they're kind of mixed, meaning that you could have half-half, or you could have more of one of the 2 colors. And it really makes the decks unique. And so something that you might have noticed. Let's go back to one of the deck boxes. Because, sorry for the noise. So it shows the different sets that are inside. And so that's something that we decided to go for. Rather than having products that every new set you get a lot of products that only have the cards of this set, what we are going for is that most of our products have the cards from all the sets. Since our products are randomized, so the decks, the cards that are inside are randomized, what matters is kind of the how many of each color you have, as long as this balance is kept, the deck can be played and it can work together. But then we decided to have all the potential cards be able to be in these different products. And we really like this idea. So far it's working well. We'll see how it goes in the future as we add more sets. But finally, so we've seen the 2 decks, and finally here you have the 72 cards booster. So as we discussed before, the way it's intended to be played is basically you just you do the first game. So you're gonna see it when we play with my partner in one of the next videos. But basically you pick, each person picks their deck, you play a first game, and then after the game is finished, what you do is that you draft. So the way it works is that you're gonna take, from this big booster, you're gonna take 6 cards, up, you're gonna put them on the table. Oh, I don't have a lot of space to work with, I'm sorry. Oh. So you're gonna put these 6 cards on the table and you're gonna draft them. So the losing player, the player that's losing the overall match, has the first pick. So let's say I played double green and blue, these 3 colors, against my partner, and I lost. So after this first game we are gonna have the draft. So we see these 6 cards and we each take one at a time. So since I lost, I'm gonna start. So I feel like this one might be great for my deck. Oh. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe my partner goes for this one, then I go for this one, then this one. Oh, like that. And so since it's really random, the 6 cards that you pull, it might happen, for example, that most of the cards are green and blues. But it doesn't mean that it's necessarily better for my deck. Because since we play against each other, it doesn't necessarily matter that, let's say, I could, for example, take this red card. Because even though in my deck I don't have cards that would meet its requirements, I wouldn't be able to put a lot of red, orange and purple cards to be able to play this one. Since my opponent will play these different colors, I might still be able to play it in the end. So that's also something that's quite interesting with the game at the moment. Is that when you play against an opponent and you know its colors, it might be quite powerful to put a few strong or intense cards of the opponent's color, because you might be able to play them during the game. So you play the first game, and after each game you draft 6, so you each have 3 new cards. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna look in your deck, and because you can't have more than 36 cards, so you're gonna look in your deck and you're gonna see maybe, because you drafted these 3, maybe you want to add these 2 to your deck. Up. And maybe, let's say, you wanna remove these 2. And you do like that. So you end up with a slightly different deck. And basically, after every draft, you're gonna have more leftovers here of your cards. And the way it works is that first you do a game, then you draft, and then you can exchange some cards of your deck with the leftovers. And so the idea is that the more games you play, the more options you have, and the more you can really refine your deck as you play against your opponent. And we really like this format. We feel like it's really neat. So that's what happens for how to duel. You also have a version of this that explains how to draft, which is basically the same idea. It's just that at the beginning, since you don't have randomized decks, you first have to draft enough cards for you to create a deck with it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say and all the time I have for this tiny update. I hope to see you soon. I would really love for you to join the Discord and keep in touch. And also have some discussion, and maybe a few games on Tabletop Simulator. Could be fun. In the meantime, I wish you a great day, and see you later.